everybody, this is Natalie Willis, the baby sleep trainer, and I want to talk about a few of my best bedtime routine tips. Now, I feel like I should have some alarm bells here because it's probably going to be pretty different from what you hear all over the internet and hear or read all over the internet and in books and things like that and blogs. I like to keep routines short and sweet, and I like to avoid putting bath into the routine unless it's something that's important for your family or something that you enjoy doing. But let's back up and let's talk about some more specific things that I would recommend. So first, short and sweet, right? So try to keep that routine to 30 minutes or less. If you are nursing or bottle feeding your child still, you want to include that in the bedtime routine. So that 30 minutes of time. So make sure you do that feeding. Try to keep them awake. I like to make the feeding first if possible, so that you're not having a feeding to sleep relationship with your baby. And then do whatever you need to do. I wouldn't worry about having to have a super intensive multi-step routine that involves a lavender oil massage and darkness and all that in hopes that your child will sleep better. You can have the best routine in the entire world, but if your baby isn't sleep trained yet, which means if they don't know how to fall asleep on their own at bedtime or for naps, your routine isn't going to make any difference. So you might as well just do whatever routine makes the most sense to you and helps you connect with your baby, but doesn't take too long and doesn't have too many unnecessary things going on in it. Also, you never want to delay your child actually going to sleep. So make sure that it's taking less time rather than more time. Another thing to keep in mind is if your child is already sleep trained, this is a tip specifically for you, try to have the routine that lasts 30 minutes and starts with the feeding take place in a really well-lit environment. You don't necessarily want to have a lot of craziness and distraction going on, though that wouldn't actually make that big of a deal. But you want to make sure that your child stays pretty awake during their whole routine so that when you go into the room and you spend a couple of moments with them before you put them down, even if they're doing some fussing or crying before they fall asleep, they'll actually fall asleep more easily and cry less. If we're talking about sleep training, if you've managed to keep them awake, pretty awake and alert during the routine. And you think I would have more tips on the bedtime routine, but that's the thing, short and sweet, less is more. That's my biggest tip. If you have any questions, specific questions about your baby's routine, please put it in the comments below, and also be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time.